My name is Bartosz Beda. I'm an artist, painter. Painting is a primary medium that I use in my work. I was born in Poland. I lived in the UK for about 10 years, where I graduated from my BA and MA course in painting. After that, I was awarded with a scholarship to Dresden Academy of Art in Germany, the same academy where Gerhard Richter was studying. And shortly after that scholarship, I went back to the UK and then settled down here in the United States in Moscow, Idaho. I ended up living in Moscow, Idaho, as my wife. At that time, my girlfriend, she got a job at University of Idaho, so that was a decision for us to move there for a while. And recently, we moved to Dallas, Texas, and that's where I live and work. I have my studio there, and also my family moved there as well. So that's how it works. I was raised in Poland. I started drawing and painting when I was around 7 years old. I was following my older brother, who was 11 years older, and he was drawing and painting in a pretty high level. So I was in a very mature way copying his drawing and paintings, and that's how I developed that interest and passion for the drawing and painting. Shortly after that, my parents sent me to a private secondary art school in Poland. That school was focused on traditional drawing and painting, so I was able to develop those skills in drawing and painting. And after that, I worked for animation studio. I was working with director Marek Skrobecki on the production of short animation production of Ichthys that received international prizes in the UK as well as in other countries. And that also led to another production of Peter and the Wolf by Susie Templeton. That was about a 30 minutes production. And this animation received an Oscar Prize in 2008. So that was a really very inspiring and huge award. And also I thought that maybe animation will be something that I will work with or work for, but I end up losing that interest in it and switched to painting. And once I made that decision, I thought that if I want to do a painting, I want to study it. I want to move elsewhere and study painting or learning about painting in a different country. So because Poland at that time joined the European Union and the borders were open and people could freely travel between the countries, so I decided to go to the UK primarily because I knew a little bit of English, so I thought that would be easier, but it was just a one step to getting into what I really wanted to do. Painting is my passion, and when I was at school, at my secondary art school in Poland, all of my teachers were telling me that painting is dead. So that's something that was coming from like 70s, 80s, when all those kind of art movements were changing. And I thought that that's a very interesting way of starting painting, that with that thoughts that were implemented in me through the school system, that painting is dead. And as a young adult at that time, I always maybe was trying to do something against something that was told me or present to me. So maybe that was one of the ways to do it. I can always talk about individual work, but I like to look at the paintings as a puzzle. So once you take one piece away, then that puzzle is not completed. So that's how I think about exhibitions that I have, that they are a form of intellectual composition that has the beginning, middle, and end of it. So once you take one part of that puzzle or composition that I call it, then you feel that something is incomplete. So maybe it's the same with the paintings you see here. Once you maybe distinguish them and see them separately, they may stand out as a painting itself, but maybe they are not a completed puzzle. So that's how I kind of see it. I don't know if it makes sense or not. I think that people can take what they want. Really, it's at the end when you look at the piece of art, you don't really think about whether this artist was drunk that night or thirsty when he was making that work. You just explore what you feel about the artwork. And I think that that's what is important for me. When people approach painting, I want them to see what they feel and what they really want to interpret and take from it. So that way, painting stays as an open window where you can inhale as much fresh air as you want, or you can just express your negative emotion toward this as well, and that is fine too. And I think that's the beauty about painting or art itself, that you don't have to like it, you don't have to enjoy it, but you will always, no matter what, take something from it for yourself. I like this part as well because it's a time when I engage with the audience. And nowadays, you can engage through many things. It's whether it's an online type of marketing or person to person. But I still value that personal connection with people, and I think that's the best thing to do, and maybe nothing else can take that away.